We're Hassani and Danielle Pettiford, and we're a real couple with real problems who almost called it quits.
I was very frustrated. I became very disconnected, very jaded and cold.
We have 4 children, going on 20 years of marriage, and we practice what we preach.
Our mission, to change the way couples relate to one another and teach them the skills needed to improve the quality of their relationships. This is the Couples Academy Show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Couples Academy Show. My name is Hassani.
I'm Danielle.
And we're back for another season. Glad to have you with us. We've been missing you. We've been thinking about you. We've been talking about you. We've been praying about you.
We've been planning on taking it to the next level, right? Because there's how much can you say about certain things in relationships? Sometimes we need to bring other perspectives into the conversation and bring what's going on in the real world in the conversation. So yesterday, what was it that we had? Was it marriage in the news? I would love for you guys to just comment and let us know how did you like that segment? We want to know if we're giving you and serving you in the way that you need. But I want to make sure that I invite you to come on here. Let us know who you are and where you're from. So just drop in there, hey, it's so-and-so from so-and-so, so that we can acknowledge you and see where you're coming from. And also, don't forget, always like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends and family about the Couples Academy Show. We're here to stay, and we want to make sure we make a huge impact in marriage.
Absolutely, guys. Listen, we're going to jump right into today's topic. We're talking about intimacy, the importance of intimacy in your relationship. You know, it's the one thing that we're all striving for. It's the one thing that we're all hoping for. Sometimes we lose it. We want to regain it, and we're trying to figure out how do we begin to do that. Well, we're going to talk about that today on our show. How about you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you measure your level of intimacy in the relationship? Like if 1 was horrible, we have little intimacy. If 10 is, it is off the charts, off the rockets, and we are just flowing.
Right.
Where are you?
I mean, I feel like I can see completely straight through you. Into me see. I see you.
I don't know how the tone of that was. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Don't you see through me?
I mean, I see through your.
How can that be a bad thing? Into me see.
Yeah,
I see straight through you.
And that's the definition.
Well, that's the point.
To me,
that's the point.
See.
There's no blocks. There's no walls. There's no hindrances or anything that keep me from understanding or whatever. I don't have to perceive things. I just get it. I understand. Mm-hmm. And when you have true intimacy, you have the ability to ask for clarity without any objection. Yeah. Right. So that's real intimacy. That's me being able to see into you, into your world, and who you are and why you are who you are.
You know, what's so powerful about intimacy, you know, earlier in a relationship, when you're getting to know someone, we always talk about these 4 seasons of a successful relationship. In the dating season, right? That's when you're asking questions. It's like the interview. You're going back and forth. What's your favorite this? What do you like about that? And you're learning each other. And it's natural and it's normal and it's fluid. And everybody seems to be, you know, on par with one another. And it's, in essence, for lack of a better term, easy. But when you get into a committed relationship, say you've gone from dating to now committed courtship and now engagement and now you're pursuing marriage, along that journey, there are going to be setbacks and challenges and disappointments and frustrations. And what was easy to do initially, what was natural to do in the very beginning, now requires intentionality. Now you have to become purposeful in your efforts. And I think that's where the challenge comes in, because most people say this shouldn't be so hard. Why is this so difficult? Like, why can't we just flow? Maybe something's wrong with you. Maybe something's wrong with this relationship. Maybe I need to try something different. Maybe I need to go somewhere else because they don't seem to be having a problem and they seem to be doing all right. But the fact of the matter is, Danielle, I remember when we used to host our show on Atlanta Live and we said marriage is spelled W-O-R-K. And then you said, no, it's spelled what did you say? You said H-A-R-D. W-O-R-K. It's hard work.
You know why? Because there are 2 different people coming from 2 different experiences trying to become one. And when you don't have true intimacy, there's a reason. And usually it's a lack of safety and trust, right? I can't give you intimacy if I'm protecting myself, if I'm guarded, if I'm scared of fill in the blank. This will happen if I share my whole heart with you. Or the last time I was truly intimate and gave myself fully to somebody, this happened. So I reserve parts of me and I compartmentalize. And so some parts you'll never, ever get because somebody damaged it so bad and I never took the time to get the support to put it back together. So you'll never get that part of me. And then there are other situations where actually we have invited, mistrust into our relationships. And so now I can't give you intimacy because it is you that, showed me mistrust.
And listen, guys, in order to get it back, it's not just going to happen. It's not going to knock on your door. It's not going to ring your phone. It is something that you have to pursue. There's a pursuit of intimacy that you need. And when you pursue something, it means you're reaching towards, you're moving towards, because when you're pursuing and when you're moving towards something, a movement educates you, right? Action keeps you learning. Pursuit teaches you what you should know and what you shouldn't know. But if you're sitting back just waiting for something to happen, you will remain ignorant and you will remain far away from your objective. So it's got to be something, it's like an uphill battle sometimes. It requires you stretching and going beyond your comfort zone and getting back what you once had or getting what you've never had. But when you pursue, it leads to progress in that relationship. Most of you have used the term, I just want to move forward. And we're waiting for a wind to sweep us off the ground and throw us and thrust us forward. It requires you getting up off your shoulders, putting one foot in front of the other and doing what it takes to work this thing out.
A wise person once said that in order for you to heal your future, you must go back and heal your past. So a lot of times we're struggling and trying to just move forward. I just want to move forward. And you're fighting for intimacy that you've left the broken pieces behind you. And you got to go back and put that stuff together so that you can have that true intimacy that you desire.
There was a powerful book called Soul Cravings by Erwin Raphael McManus. And he says, eloquently about intimacy, he says, we are most alive when we find it, most devastated when we lose it, most empty when we give up on it, most inhumane when we betray it, and most passionate when we pursue it. What a powerful quote.
That is powerful.
What a powerful quote. And many of us have been on every single angle or perspective or side of intimacy as it relates to that particular quote. And the reality is, no matter how your situation may be, no matter how dim, no matter how dark, no matter how dreary, no matter how, just discouraged you may be about your current situation, it is not an indication of where you can one day be. You can't look at your future through the lenses of your past or your present. There's a possibility that you can overcome and get to a better place, because we were once there. We were once willing to throw in the towel, call it quits. We just couldn't take it anymore. She didn't like me. I didn't like her. It was a wrap. But we were willing to do something about it. And we put in that effort. And here we are today.
I think it's interesting because I'm actually thinking about couples in my mind who, they struggle to show intimacy because it's perceived differently, right? Like I'm trying to show you who I truly am, but somehow everything that I do is offending you. And this is the power of the Enneagram personality assessment, guys. I'm going to be a broken record for the rest of my life talking about the power of this thing, because when Hassani says we were there, he's not lying. And it really took for us to get a deeper understanding of who we were and why we do the things that we do, so that we can understand that I'm not attacking you. He's not attacking me. This is not necessarily even about you or me. It's an internal battle that I'm having with myself. And now that I can reveal that to you, my internal battle, now you can have empathy for me. And that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this conversation. We're talking about intimacy. We didn't even get a chance to welcome those who are here. So Angel and Denise and Lakeisha, Darnell, Kathy, Rick,
Kathy.
Clarence, Zach,
Christy, Lenee, Michelle, gorgeous, Lenee again, JG. Good morning, everybody. Listen, Hassani, we got to figure out our flow, because I was going to welcome them on the second half of the show.
Oh, is that right? Well,
yes.
So, that's just how it goes sometimes. Well, we're glad that you're here. We want you to like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out so that we can get the word out to you.
Hey, Bobby.
But intimacy in your relationship, listen, we're going to go through a couple points, but tell me about what's going on with you on the second side of the break. But before we get there, listen, intimacy, I want you to understand this. Intimacy means acceptance.
Yes.
Okay. We said that relationships are spelled W-O-R-K. Intimacy is spelled A-C-C-E-P-T-A-N-Z-E. Acceptance.
Acceptance.
It's acceptance. And if intimacy means intimacy, what that means is I want you to see me, not the image that you have of me, not the expectations that you want from me, not what you're trying to fix me and make me to be. I want you to accept me for me.
Right.
A lot of times we get into relationships because of what a person represents for us, to us, what we want them to be with us, and we try to shape them and form them and fashion them into what we want.
Yes,
And
and it
it's a
gets so
problem.
much deeper than that, guys, and we're going to break this down for you. But when you come back on the other side, we want to hear from you, okay? What are some of your struggles with intimacy? Do you feel that you have intimacy with your partner? And what are the things that you're doing to make sure that you can keep it alive and thriving? We'll talk to you about that on the other side of the break.
You're listening to the Couples Academy Show. Let's get it. Have you been struggling with issues that have gone unresolved for significant amounts of time? Are you desperate for change but don't know exactly what to do? Well, Couples Academy has the answer. The Gottman Relationship Checkup is a clinical tool that scientifically evaluates relationship strengths and challenges through a comprehensive assessment based upon 40 years of research. With it, each partner completes the assessment in 5 key sections: friendship and intimacy, trust and safety, conflict management, shared meaning, and individual areas of concern. This personalized report provides detailed analysis, flags areas of concern, and suggests specific treatment options that we will discuss together. The insight gained from this assessment will help to take you off the road of recovery and place you on the path to fulfillment. If you're ready to experience quantum growth in your marriage, contact Couples Academy today.
Hey, welcome back, guys. You're watching the Couples Academy Show, and I just want to acknowledge some folks. It says, hey, missed you. Wait, how do I click on this, husband? Hold on.
Just click on it.
It ain't
Wife.
clicking. It ain't clicking.
We'll just flow.
Okay. Well, Talisha, thank you for acknowledging that we're back. It is so good to be back. We've been really hungry to get back to this and start talking to you guys about some of these tips. Zach was saying that what did Zach say? I can't find these.
Oh my gosh, you're back. We miss you.
I can't find it.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
don't know what's wrong with my screen. See, technology. Listen, guys. Technology will do you wrong at the wrong time. But I just want to acknowledge everybody because my screen.
Here we
is
go.
frozen.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
where have you been?
Thank you. Oh my God, where have you been? Carlton says, so glad y'all are back. Y'all have done wonders for our marriage. Thank you guys for the acknowledgement. When you come on here, just make sure that you say where you're from. We want to acknowledge you and see exactly where folks are tuning in from. We've had people tune in from all over the world, and it was really fun last season to be able to document that. And actually, I got to update y'all on the map. The map is getting really colorful because we've scratched off so many places around the world where you guys are tuning in. But that is a testament to how impactful we as couples can be. When we start to spread this word, we start to transform our worlds and the impact of marriage on the world. So let's keep doing that.
So yesterday, I had to have Danielle go out to the store. I think I was busy here at the house, and I said, my key died.
Oh, the
And
key
I
fob.
think the little battery died, and she had to go out and get these batteries so I could plug them back into my little key fob. So
Did
I could
that
start
work?
my phone. It worked.
Okay,
It worked.
goody.
Right. So the point is, there are keys that we have that open up doors in our lives. You have a key that opens up the car door and gets it started. You have a house key that opens up the house door that allows you to get in. Keys to do many different things. Well, the key that unlocks the door to a person's heart
Whoops.
is acceptance.
Oh,
Right?
I accept you.
I accept you too, babe,
Okay.
for all your greatness. And all that
I
other
feel like that
stuff
was
too.
so loaded. I feel like that was so loaded.
But real talk, oftentimes we're so critical and judgmental and dismissive of all of who a person is. I remember working with a couple in Florida, and the wife was saying, you know what, you're in love with the idea of love. You're in love with the idea of me, but you don't really love me. Because everything you say is so critical. I'm not good enough. You're in love with the idea of what you want me to be. that she did not feel accepted. She did not feel worthy. Her self-esteem was in the basement because of the way her husband viewed her. And so if you truly want to develop emotional closeness in that relationship, you have to accept the person that you're with. Now, that doesn't mean that this is just who I am. I'm just going to be who I'm going to be.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it sounds like she experienced a tremendous amount of criticism, right? So for her to not feel accepted in her own relationship means that, you know, he was constantly pointing out all her shortcomings and what she's not, and not highlighting all the wonderful things about her. And so that's what we want to get into. This acceptance thing is deep because, as Hassani is saying, it's not about accepting all your flaws and saying, well, that's just who I am and I don't have to change or be anything other than who I am. But it is about getting an understanding about who that person is. And it is about doing practical things every day that can develop your intimacy.
You know, somebody says here, I'm not sure I know what intimacy is or how to be intimate. So to give another word for intimacy, closeness, right? Closeness. So if you're in a relationship and you are emotionally distant, psychologically distant, physically distant, and there's a huge gap and wedge, you do not have intimacy in your relationship. So the closer physically, and I don't mean sex, the closer physically, emotionally, psychologically you get to that person allows you to begin to spend quality time with that person, and you get to know who that person is. That's intimacy.
Yeah, I can't click on this, but Pam says, when you are accepted, I think you're more apt to, to become what that person needs you to be for them. I think that's exactly it, because I'm not folding my arms and just determined to be stuck as who I am, right? But your acceptance of me allows me to bloom, so to speak, right? Because you are accepting of the fact that I am not perfect. I do have some flaws, but I'm willing to work on it. I'm willing to be what I need to be. And I think that's a huge piece of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the things that we have to do in order to begin to have a level of intimacy in our relationship. So number one, we were talking about how intimacy equals acceptance. Let's go through these tips and these steps to give you what you need.
Okay, so the next one would be laughter. Laughter is huge, guys. And you know what? I remember I'm a laughter person. Like, I love humor. I love funny movies. I love going to the comedy show. I love doing practical jokes. I just love doing things that make me laugh for sure, right? But in the beginning, Hassani he's not necessarily a laughy guy. He's a pretty serious guy. And I knew that we were developing true intimacy when I'm not going to tell folks what you did. I'm not going to tell folks what you did. But you intentionally made me laugh so hard one day.
What'd I do?
I can't tell him.
Okay.
I can't tell him what you did. But it was very intentional and it was hilarious.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's not his MO. And so if anybody ever had Hassani try to tell a joke, it's the driest joke on the planet. He's not a jokester at all. I'm the jokester.
That's not true.
That's
not true at all.
First of all, I don't have to convince these folks. They know you. It's true, okay? However, he tries. He tries to be humorous. Even though his jokes are dry, he tries. And that speaks to my love language because I need to laugh. That's intimacy, and him laughing at my jokes. See, what did I always say to you? Well, I'm funny to me. Didn't I always say that? Because I would crack some funny jokes and I'd be cracking up and Hassani would look just like that. How important is it for you that your spouse laugh with you or laugh at things? Yeah, just laugh with you. It's important.
Right, not laugh at you, laugh with you.
Not laugh at you, but laugh with you.
It's so interesting. We just had a couple here that did an intensive, and they said something that another couple said a couple weeks ago. I haven't laughed with you in years.
See?
With you.
Yes.
We found sacred spaces and moments to connect through laughter. Even though they were dealing with heavy, deep, difficult conversations, they found levity in it and began to laugh. And the laughter was the glue that bound them together. And so they came in, when I tell you they came in like, this is a wrap. I'm not interested. It's over. I'm just doing this because I made an obligation. They came out completely different.
A powerful quote. The shortest distance between two hearts is laughter. So even if I'm angry, have you ever been angry about something? Like, has your child, think about that. That's the easiest example. A child doing something that made you angry, but it was hilarious. Like, it's like it bonds, it connects. You can't be but so mad when there's something to laugh about. So try to bring laughter into your relationship.
So Kathy says, I think I agree with Danielle on the jokes. I don't know what you're talking about, Kathy, but
Thank
you're talking
you,
about
Kathy.
how I don't tell jokes
I know,
and I'm not funny.
I don't have to prove.
I rebuke that. I reject that. I don't receive that.
I'm glad he's rebuking and rejecting it because it's necessary. You see?
At any rate, so
Okay.
let's go to the next point. You got to laugh. But listen, sometimes you got to cry. You got to be able to cry together. And see, that is a deep level of intimacy.
Yes, it is.
Do you know how many people hide in corners and close doors and go in
Didn't
other
TD Jakes write the
areas?
book Men Cry in the Dark?
No, he didn't write that book.
Who was it?
Sorry. That was somebody. that was somebody else. But it was
that
a
is
good
a
book
book.
nonetheless. I think that was the radio show
See,
host.
he wants to try to be funny now
But
because he's
men-
trying to prove me wrong, but he's not funny.
But men do cry in the dark, right? Because for men, we're taught that a man can't cry, a man can't be soft and weak. And to be honest,
Yeah.
certain women who have been raised to
That's
be
right.
hard
Right.
and strong, and I don't need anybody, I can do it all by myself, they don't show vulnerability either.
That's true.
And that's why a lot of men and women who are so hard on the outside, they never get their need met.
That's right.
Like they're projecting this image of strength to the world, and their strength benefits everybody else but themselves. So everybody assumes, well, they're good, they're all right, they don't need nothing, and they're crying on the
People
inside.
assume, especially with women, and men, they assume that you're strong because you don't show those emotions. But there's two things that could be going on. One thing could be that you were raised not to show emotion, like you said, with men, and also women are taught that as well. The other thing is that when you've been hurt so many times, you have no more tears to cry. And that's a big issue too. It does toughen your exterior when you've been through so many things. I talk about this all the time, and I know we're wrapping up this point. You know, I've been through a lot of things in my life. And so when people come to me and they're crying and they're upset, I'm not necessarily that moved emotionally because I've been through tough things. I'm more of a strong beacon at that moment because I've been through so many things. So sometimes we got to crack that tough shell to get inside, let our spouses know what our needs are so that we can have our needs met. Sometimes we're showing up too strong, too tough, too resilient, and there's no room for your spouse to share.
And we're going to talk more about this cry point on the other side of this break. But listen, we'll be right back. You're watching the Couples Academy Show. That's right. You're watching what we just put on the screen, and that's the Moving Forward program. And, you know, it's one of the things that we're really, really, really excited about because we have an opportunity to take a journey for a number of months with couples who have gone through some challenges and had some setbacks and really want to get back on track and get in alignment with one another to develop that level of intimacy. And so if you are looking for something, I'm going to tell you something. There's something powerful about community. When you can get together with other couples who are kind of going what you're going through and can relate to what you're dealing with, there's such support in that particular environment that helps you to get over the hurdles and the challenges that you're having. So imagine, not only are you getting great content and guidance and instruction from us, but a community of other people who support you and keep you anchored. And we just ending up one particular Moving Forward group. We're coming to the end of our season, and it's so great. I love it how they're planning tours and vacations and going to this place and that place. And I was just like, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And it just keeps happening over and over with every group. There's a bond. It's almost like a graduating class.
Yes.
And they go off together to do life together and are better for it. They're better together as a couple, and they're better as a community because nobody wants to do life alone. So many couples have come to us doing life alone and have walked through that process with us and walked away with a whole community.
Absolutely.
It's so powerful.
So listen, you need to consider joining the Moving Forward program. You can simply go to couplesacademy.org, find out more about it, or even set up a discovery call with us and inquire, because I think it would be a major, significant thing in your life that will push your relationship forward. But we only have a few minutes. I want to go back.
We got to go back to cry, right?
Yeah, we're going to go back to cry. I don't know why these things are falling out, but the ability to cry, when sometimes people don't know what to do when their spouse is crying. They're like a deer in headlights. They don't know what to do. And sometimes you don't even need to have words, but sometimes just a touch, just an embrace, just being silent in the presence of that person, just being present can be what they need. You just have to be sensitive to that moment, give it space to breathe, and let them know that you're there for them no matter what they're going through. They could be sad about a family member, the loss of a family member, somebody sick, the loss of a job, something going on in their personal lives. And just your presence alone does wonders.
And I want to add to that because people think that they need to do or be a certain way about things. True intimacy is not trying to do and trying to be someone that you're not. It's the presence of you. I will never forget talking about how crying, develops that intimacy. When Hassani and I were bumping heads, we were in the middle of the fight
in the midst
of our lives. And Hassani broke down and cried. I had never seen him cry. That was a huge moment because all that time I thought literally you just must not have no soul. Like do you feel anything? Do you get angry? Do you get sad? Because you have the staunch look. I don't know what to read. I couldn't read him. But when he broke down and he cried and then started to express why he was crying, all my anger, we were in a fierce argument at that moment. All my anger just melted away and just left out my feet. And I sat down next to him and did exactly that. And I just wanted to know more, what's going on? It was my opening. It was the entrance into the stony heart. And so, yes, not necessarily that you have to cry all the time, but if you are moved to tears, don't hide it from your partner. Let them see the whole you. I think a lot of times we get moved to tears about things or we're hurt by something and we go into a closet and cry and we don't share ourselves or that part of ourselves, that intimate, soft side of ourselves with our partner, and they deserve to know that about you.
Listen, guys, we're talking about intimacy, and I hope that you're getting something out of this. We're going to continue this conversation into tomorrow because there's so much more to unpack, but I want you to think about it. Where are you in your relationship with intimacy? What are the roadblocks? What are the obstacles? What are the things that have gotten in the way? Are you your own roadblock? Are you your own break? Let's talk more about it tomorrow. We love you guys. We'll see you in the AM. Share this with as many people as possible so that we can help change lives all around the world. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
If you would like to be a guest on our show, or if you're interested in one of our restoration programs, contact us today at couplesacademy.org.